Hello everyone and welcome to CR Trading. Here we are today on the MES S&p 500 futures contract for March. It's the MES H24 or 2024 depending on your brokerage firm. So today we are looking at the chart. This is a 1 minute chart. The red and blue lines are just the 30-second opening range, spans about 3 points. I'm just using that today to kind of bounce a few scalps around and see what happens here. As what we want to do is we want to be short below the opening range, long above it, flat in the opening range. For this, I will be executing primarily on the chart with a dealing box, buy and sell usually. One-click trading enabled, that kind of thing. Here we are, we're approaching that opening range again. So if we get into that opening range, I'm going to be flat. I do see a move here because we are moving up in that direction. Or bring this down a little bit so you guys could see. When using the 30-second opening range, I use it as kind of like a guide because shorts are favored below the opening range and longs are favored above the opening range. A little bit about initial balance. Again, we could talk about initial balance. That's the first hour of trading. That's from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you could adjust for Central Time and West Coast Time too. So here we've tapped into the opening range. I want to see what the next couple of candles do before I determine if I'm going to take a position here. Now, if we kind of just bounce off the opening range like that again and we kind of move down, that looks like a good time for a short. So we got 30 seconds left in this candle. Just taking a look here, watching the price action a little bit. We got 10 seconds left in this candle. We're going to see if this candle cracks into the opening range. We've got about 10 seconds left on this candle. So here I'm just kind of watching the opening range and seeing where the price is going to kind of react from here. Since now we are moving down, I kind of want to see There we go. And what we're going to do is we'll bring this order up to about there. And we'll collect yes. And now we're just going to kind of wait and let this trade play out a little bit. Kind of expecting this to kind of want to come down to about here before there's anything really that's going to stop it from falling further. So that's just kind of what I'm watching now, seeing where we're at and what the next candle or two brings. I want it to break that other low just to make sure that we're not going to swing back up here. So I'm going to kind of watch this candle and see, since it didn't break that low, I'm not loving my position, but there's only 15 seconds left of this candle, so we're going to kind of watch it, see what happens. If we move up on the next candle, I might abandon ship and take a small loss here and move on with my day. Yeah, since we didn't move down there, I may just take my loss here before it becomes much bigger, because it looks like we're going to head back up towards that blue line on the opening range because we didn't make any progress down below. Actually, that wasn't really a strong push, so maybe what we're going to do here is we're going to kind of watch this again, and I kind of want to see if we move down now. It really wasn't a strong push up, and we seem to be kind of stopping there. So maybe we could get out of this with some profit here at 78-ish. I'm just going to move that over for you guys so you could see. I would like to kind of try and get out of this. It does kind of look like we're moving in my direction, so we're going to hang in for a bit here. Hopefully we could take a little bit of profit out of this. As you can see, we're close. There we go. Now we broke into some profit. We're moving in our direction. I'd like to see a little more movement in our direction. And we're out of that trade with a little bit of profit. We got to about we got about 1 point on that. The price action wasn't striking. We're moving back up here a little bit, kind of see what happens, and I'll try and work back into a couple more scalps around that 80 number. Again, below the opening range, which is 5,087 to 5,084. We're looking for shorts. Above that, we would be looking for longs. So now here I'm just going to kind of watch the price action. We have a little over 10 seconds left in this candle. there's not really anything that's kind of striking me or really getting me excited about this going below 5,075 in probably the next 15 minutes. So I'm just going to kind of hang tight, watch, see what happens here. Excuse me. So here again, I'm just kind of watching. I want to see what's going to happen now that we've formed the initial balance, which is from 9:30 to 10:30, takes us from about 5,089 down to about 5,074. Now I'm just kind of watching the price action here, seeing as this candle kind of develops what is happening and how these things are forming. Again, this looks like this is going to pop back up into the opening range. So we'll see if there's something that we might be able to take from there moving forward. But a lot of this now will be a consolidation leg here, and then we may see a manipulation leg. And then later on in the day, we'll probably see that distribution leg, which could be higher or lower depending on where we are after the opening range and what it looks like from the initial balance. So we're taking a look at these things and trying to figure out where to place our scalps and things like that. We need to keep in mind the opening range and the initial balance if we're trading after 10:30, or just the opening range if we're trading between 9:30 and 10:30. Anything in the afternoon, anything beyond that, we really kind of have to look at both and see where we kind of fall in that price range. Again, I'm just kind of watching price action here. There's not really a whole lot pushing this in one direction or the other. I would need it to break that, basically break back into the opening range and break that swing high at 4084.25. Sorry, 5,084.25. Before there was anything I would be interested in, or would have to go below this swing low down here, if you could see where the crosshairs are, at 5,078.50 it looks like. Then once one of those two are run, then I can again look for something that may take this short. If we're back up into the opening range again, then I want it to go above 5,087 before there's anything else that I would be taking as far as a long. But shorts still look good below that 5,084 mark. I would just want a good spot where it looks like we're entering a distribution phase for the next hour or so, and not just sitting around in this kind of consolidation here. Yeah, so again, not really much is happening. We can kind of infer that this is going to be a consolidation area, and then we'll probably move off of this. I'm going to take a look at the 15-minute time frame here. So in looking at the 15-minute time frame, even the 15-minute candles are not as large as I'd like them to be at this point in the day. So I kind of feel like now it's probably a good time for me to just sit on my hands and revisit this later in the afternoon for the afternoon session. I normally don't trade between noon and 1 Eastern time. I've never had great success in the past during that hour, and it is kind of like the lunch hour, and for me it's never brought a lot of positive trades, so I just try and kind of steer clear for that. Then I come back at around between 1 and 1:30. I won't take my first trade till after 1:30 though, because it gives me some time to come back from that lunch hour, get myself acclimated to what's going on in the market again, and then I can prepare myself to move forward and see what the afternoon session brings. I feel without those kind of things, sometimes we can get lost in our process. So I try not to trade during that window. I used to like the overnight session after 7 p.m., but recently it really hasn't yielded anything of any significance for me, so I kind of have stayed away from that currently. I will probably get back into that at some point during the spring and summer, especially trade some overnight stuff and grab a couple positions here and there if the market conditions are right and stuff like that. But I felt like a couple years ago, the night session was really where you wanted to make those trades and grab those open positions, and things have kind of changed now, and it's a little bit different. So again, we're still below the opening range here, favoring shorts. But that's going to do it for me for today, guys. Thanks for checking it out. Like I said, if there's questions or anything, I'm always happy to answer that kind of stuff and give you guys a deeper look into some more of my trading.